2024 has been a pretty wild year when it comes to credit card nerfs, from UOB no longer accepting Amaze transactions. Therefore, you cannot use your Amaze cards with your UOB when you're overseas to pay for your dining and online shopping. This nerf greatly affected people who like to do shopping overseas, especially your branded, because there is no limit on the KrisFlyer card. Next is the HSBC revolution, where they stopped awarding you points for contactless transactions and travel spending. This one stung because it went from one of the best cards in the market, where I use it for almost all my daily spends, to one of the most niche cards that I have right now. Even cashback cards are not spared. The Standard Chartered Smart Card, which I use for my daily commutes to and from work on Simply Go, and my digital subscriptions like Netflix and Spotify, was also nerfed. While it is still usable right now, it won't be for long, and I've since cancelled the card. The UOB Absolute Cashback card was also hit. It used to be the card that I go to pay my insurance and medical bills. Boasting a 1.7 cashback with no general exclusions, this is by far one of the best cards that you can have used for anything that is generally excluded by credit card companies. Now the cashback for donations, education, and healthcare has been nerfed to 0.3%. Making it no longer worth it for me to use this card. The credit card space is always changing, with buffs and nerfs constantly happening on a monthly basis. So with the ever-changing landscape, here's my credit card strategy for 2025, assuming no major changes. Cards that I mentioned in this video are Miles Card, and that's a deliberate choice. Personally, I prefer Miles Card because of its flexibility. I don't want to feel the pressure of having to meet a certain spending limit on a monthly basis. Miles Card allows me to earn rewards at my own pace depending on how much or how little I spend, while still offering incredible value when redeeming it for flights or travel. The first card that I'll talk about is no stranger to anybody in the mile hacking game. The City Rewards plus Amaze combo. You're probably familiar with this combo because I've talked about it in this channel previously. It is one of the first cards that I've applied for when I graduated out of university in 2022, and by far it's still my most used card in 2024. You get 4 miles per dollar capped at $1,000 on a monthly basis. I use this combo for most of my in-person transactions like food, entertainment, groceries, and shopping. And most importantly, I use it for healthcare to pay for things like my dental bill and my private doctors, because that allows you to earn 4 miles per dollar as well. The second card is a DBS Women's World Mastercard. This card is pretty straightforward. 4 miles per dollar capped at $1,500 on a monthly. Use this card for all your online spending and do not bring it out or add it to your Apple Pay. Things like shopping and travel expenses like your hotel bookings and flight tickets can all be charged to this card, even private hires as well. One thing to note is do not pair this with Amaze, because DBS has specifically excluded Amaze transactions from their do not reward list. If you have to key in your credit card details on the website, you're most likely going to earn rewards on this card. Third card will be the UOB PPV. This card awards you points for all contactless transactions up to $1,110. It serves as my backup when I max out my City Rewards card. So whatever that I spend on my City Rewards card will be spent on this card as well. So the categories that I use for my City Rewards card will be the same as I use for my PPV. But sometimes this card will be my primary card for the month. If I know that I'll be traveling somewhere in this month, I will front load all my Singapore expenses onto this PPV, so that I have the full $1,000 spending limit on my City Rewards card when I go overseas. And lastly would be the UOB KrisFlyer card. This card awards you 3 miles per dollar on Singapore airline groups such as SQ Tickets, Scoot Tickets, and Kris Shop, as well as online shopping and dining and online travel, provided you meet the $800 spending requirement on Singapore airline groups. I use this card mainly on a day-to-day basis for my Simply Go transactions after I cancelled my Standard Chartered Smart Card, since this card is one of the only few cards that awards you miles for Simply Go transactions. One major advantage of this card is that there is no limit on this card as compared to the other 3 cards that I've recommended so far. How much points you can earn is dependent on your monthly credit limit that the bank set for you. For instance, in May of this year, I booked $6,000 worth of hotels on Agoda using this card, and it earned me a full sum of almost 18,000 miles. That is a lot of miles for a single transaction. Another benefit is its versatility. Being a general spend card, so long as any category doesn't fall within the 3 mile per dollar categories that I mentioned, it will still earn you 1.2 miles per dollar, which isn't too bad. And that's my credit card strategy for 2025. Feel free to copy this strategy if you think it's best suited for you, but of course tweak it according to how much you spend on a monthly basis. Remember, everybody's spending limit is different. What works for me might not work for you. Do your due diligence before you apply for any credit cards. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a follow on TikTok because that's where I answer all my questions, and I do short form videos on there as well. If you find this video helpful, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.